Welcome everybody to today's Mayors and Supervisors Update. I'm Chris Carosa, publisher of the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel, and we're here today with several of our mayors and supervisors to tell us what's going on in their communities. Let's start with Eileen, who needs to unmute herself so that she can start talking and telling us all about the wonders of Scottsville.
Oh, and there's so many wonderful things in Scottsville. Starting off, good afternoon to everybody. And coming up this week, we have Veterans Day. So I'd like to take a moment to tell people to remember the veterans on Veterans Day. I know a lot of things have been canceled or are being done a different way on Veterans Day, but we want to remember all our veterans and thank them for their service. Our board meeting will be on Tuesday, November 10th at 6:30 p.m. in the Village Hall. And let's see, North Road is progressing along very nicely. They've been paving this week, getting all the paving done on the east side of North Road. So that is it's really starting to shape up. Let's see, our DPW has been hard at work on leaf pickup. They have been doing a great job, and they will be in the next couple of weeks, they'll be taking down the banners and flags after Veterans Day and putting up the holiday winter decorations. So that will be on their agenda. But right now they're very busy with the leaves and getting things ready for winter, probably getting the plows ready and ordering salt. And then finally, I want to just give a shout out to Girl Scout Troop 60378. I had the pleasure of attending their Girl Scout meeting on Monday to talk to them about local government and elections. A lovely group of girls and their leaders were fantastic. I want to thank them for the invitation and wish them all the best. And that's about it for me this week.
All right, thank you very much, Eileen. Jerry, what's rushing along in Rush?
Well, I'm pleased to report from the best kept secret in Western New York. We are enjoying this beautiful weather. I'm sure that everyone else is also. And I can report that we have put out RFPs for the repair, the long overdue repair of the library roof. And we will be opening bids as a result of those RFPs next Tuesday. I can't wait. The roof has needed repair for over 12 years and we're finally going to get it done. The election was the largest turnout in modern history of Rush, maybe even in history, but at least in modern times, we had very, very high numbers. And we have 2 new board members. I would give you their names, but they've not been certified yet. And I don't want to paint myself into a corner. So we've got our budget being passed next Tuesday night. Obviously Tuesday rather than Wednesday because of Veterans Day, but our approved budget will be passed Tuesday night. And I'm very pleased with that because taxes will remain flat, no increase. And we're anxiously awaiting the results of the sales tax payment for the balance of this year to see how that will allow us to do what we need to do and also not put a burden on our taxpayers. The highway department is busy getting ready for the winter season with equipment preparation, mounting snow plows, salt spreaders, that kind of stuff, and putting up snow fence. almost everywhere you go on a north-south road. So we're getting ready for winter, but if this weather wants to stay around for another 8-10 weeks, we will take it.
Don't you want a white Christmas?
Yes, I would like a white Christmas.
And then it could be 70 degrees next week, the week after.
There you go.
January thaw. All right. Thanks, Jerry. John, Mendon. How are we doing in Mendon there?
Great, Chris. As usual, thanks so much for having me. I do want to mention that how important it is to have the Sentinel newspaper for our communities because of the Sentinel newspaper, we're able to place our legal notices. If we had to put those in a newspaper similar to the DNC, it would be a large cost increase to our residents as taxpayers. And obviously, not only for the legal notices, but also for the local news. It's really an important part of our communities, and we certainly appreciate the Sentinel and, of course, you, Chris. I did want to mention about Veterans Day as well, is that there is a ceremony at the Four Corners in Honeoye Falls on Veterans Day at 11 o'clock. It's a very short ceremony. If you haven't been to it before, I certainly encourage folks to come. Everything's outside. Social distancing can be observed. It probably lasts about 10 minutes. It's one of the nicest ceremonies I've ever attended. The Post 664 Legion does a fantastic job. After that ceremony, as we have done in previous years, we will have the Veterans Day dinner, which is going to be at the community center, which also serves Post 664. And the only difference this year is all the dinners will be to go. So we'll have the parking lot set up. You pull up, you tell somebody how many dinners you want. We provide those dinners so that you can go take them home and enjoy them with your family. There's no residency requirement, and there is no fee for our veterans. We have had some meetings with HFL School and the village town of Lima and the village of Honeoye Falls regarding summer recreation for 2021. And we are proceeding. Hopefully we will be able to have that. We'll know a lot more, obviously, regarding the pandemic and how it affects summer recreation next year as we progress. The solar farm that was approved by the planning board, which is on Quaker Meeting House Road, fairly kind of across the street from the middle school, sits way back in. Probably will not see it from the road, but you might see some construction happening back there. They're going to be starting very quickly on that. So that is something that was approved by the planning board a couple of months ago. Roof update, if you've been by down Summel Road, or if you've been by the Post 664 Community Center, you'll see that the metal roofs are going on and the contractor's working on that. And so we'll have that finished up relatively quickly. I've mentioned this before, but I do want to mention it again, that the everyone who is in the Mendon Fire Protection District #1, which is basically north of the village of Honeoye Falls and west of it's not a straight line, but it's basically west of West Bloomfield Road, and there's a few jigs and jogs in that line. But anyway, those folks are going to see an increase in their rate. If for the fire protection district, that is going from 66 cents per thousand to 93 cents per thousand. So on a house that is assessed for $250,000, that will be an increase of $68 approximately. Our tax rate, as far as the town goes, is flat. So if you haven't had any changes or didn't lose any exemptions, your town taxes should be the same because the rate hasn't changed. But as I said, the fire protection district, the easy way to find out if you're in it is take a look at your tax bill, or you can stop in at town hall or call us. We'd be more than happy to explain to you whether you're in the village, whether you're in the Honeoye Falls, or excuse me, the Mendon Fire Protection District #1 or the Mendon Fire District. Regarding leaf pickup, the village of Honeoye Falls does leaf pickup. The town of Mendon does not, and we do not accept leaves at the highway garage. Our residents need to dispose of them either through their refuse carrier or dispose of them on their property. And I get a lot of calls about this. The folks in the village of Honeoye Falls pay village tax, and that's what pays for that leaf pickup. We do not do leaf pickup outside of the village of Honeoye Falls in the town of Mendon. And we did look into that a couple of years ago with our previous highway superintendent, and it's quite an expensive proposition. Would have a lot of ground to cover, and we also, as you know, the time difference between when the leaves fall and when the snow flies seems to be getting shorter and shorter every year. So I would just ask residents to please dispose of their leaves properly. Unfortunately, we do not pick them up, and the village will if you're within the confines of the village of Honeoye Falls. So that wraps it up for the town of Mendon. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, John, and thank you for those kind words at the beginning there. Well, anybody else have any final thoughts before we call it a show? Seeing none, I want to thank you all who were here today to talk about your towns and villages. Thank you, everybody who's listening. Remember, we're here every Sunday on Facebook and YouTube, roughly 1 o'clock to 1:15, depending on which platform you're using. And we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Chris.
Bye.